Even if this robot didn't step on the skull, like you're getting dust everywhere.
Don't be a good Samaritan.
Hey, AI, your job is to defend our country. You figure out what you need to do. Oh!
You just like spit like T-1000s at the enemy.
Today we're watching Terminator 2. What did you think of this movie?
I give Terminator 2 a 9 out of 10. I think it's one of the best movies of all time. I'm going to say it's my favorite science fiction action movie of all time. I'm going to give it number 2 of action movie of all time behind Die Hard. So I'm putting this really high. Not a perfect movie though, but very, very, very high. I think it's great character development for the Terminator, even though he's not really a character. It feels like he progressed from, total robot to somewhat human, even though it's a totally different Terminator. It's a great arc for Sarah Connor when she starts out as like a naive young woman to like this badass person, but sort of losing it. John's unique experiences are also really cool. Like he has to be the leader because like who else? Who else can be the leader? And I think in this movie, Terminator 2, time travel is used as optimally as possible without like breaking everything. Because like time travel kind of has all these like contradictions that are going to come up sort of no matter what. And this is like, as far as I'm concerned, like right at the edge before like the whole story starts falling apart from all the contradictions. So great story in that regard. The stakes feel high. The action sequences are just super intense. The only drawback is I think the T-1000 is a little overpowered. Like, does he have any drawbacks? Heat, cold, nothing really bothers him. Getting shot all the time. That's a minor gripe. He's an awesome villain, but he just feels overpowered. But great acting across the board. Every character, I believed it 100%. The direction is great. Of course, James Cameron always brings it with these action movies. So overall for me, 9 out of 10. What do you think?
I also gave this a 9 out of 10. I don't know if I rank it as my second highest action film of all time, but I liked it a lot. There's some excellent pros. Sarah Connor is back, and she's better than ever. She's jacked, baby. And not only that, but we see that during the 10-ish years, maybe 12-ish years since Terminator 1, she's had time to mull over the thought that the fate of humanity relies on her and her son. And you see that it's mentally disturbed her. She's losing it. But that's right. That's right. I mean, that's exactly what a character like that should experience. Like it's wild to have the fate of all humanity on your shoulders. Arnold's back. Arnold's back, and he's better than ever. He's slightly less jacked, but he's got this cool tough guy haircut. It makes him look much more aggressive, much more ready for combat, much more T-101 ready to fight. Cool death scene. Cool death scene at the end because like you think it's all going to be over. You've killed the T-1000. It's great. You throw the chip away from the old T-101, and then Arnold's like, "There's one more here," and you're like, "No, I didn't want this to happen, but I get it. I get it because that's exactly right. If he doesn't destroy the chip in his head, then you just restart the chip manufacturing anyway." The cons for this film is that the kid's voice is weird. For some reason, like he seems like he's talking, but then audio, like he's shouting. Like was he voiced over? What's going on here? There's also weird human versus human moral overtones scattered a bit throughout the film and mostly at the end. And it seems out of place because the war has been machines versus humans. So why are we getting talked to about humans versus humans? No. We'll think about it. This movie does not respect causality. That's weird to me. As a physicist, I need a consequence to happen after an action happens. Otherwise, without that initial action, why did that thing happen? But as my partner said, it's right. Like you really can't do too much of this in time travel films because it gets messy fast. And so without respecting causality, if all the chips are destroyed and the machine war is averted, then who sent Kyle Reese in the first film? If all the what that would mean is if the chips are all destroyed, then whatever chip research is already currently done must be enough to build the machines anyway. And so if that's true, then you would just record down in Sarah Connor's diary, just write it down that the chips need to be destroyed earlier than that. And so then future humans have that on record and they just time travel even further back. It's time travel is very tricky to do without just having problems right away. But that being said, okay, hey, just have fun, hang out with this awesome movie, and it's super fun, it's super action-packed, and good time. 9 out of 10. Ready to talk about it?
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. So at the beginning of the movie, we see here at the beginning of the movie, it's set in Los Angeles, 2029 AD, and we see the aftermath of some type of, just destruction, some type of, it's been going down.
Yeah, it just seems so destroyed. I mean, I know we saw in the first movie and in this movie, but like, how in the world are humans surviving? It looks like nuclear winter has been set upon the world, and like Los Angeles isn't just like a little bit destroyed; it's completely destroyed. So,
like unnecessarily flattened. Like as a machine, I just need to kill the person. I'm not gonna wreck all the cars and the structures, which I guess are like my like cousins of machines, right? They're like not as smart as me, but like I recognize them. I recognize they're also machines.
well, I guess
These are like it's overkill.
is this from the nukes? This is from the nukes, right? That they destroyed all the cities, just pummel it with nukes.
I think not, and the reason I think not. So definitely there was damage from the nukes. The reason I think not is because all these cars are wheels down. If it's from the nuclear explosion, wouldn't they be like tossed around or whatever? My hunch is that these cars were trying to leave the city, maybe after the nuke, maybe after the machines started going on them. And then those flying guys, the flying machines were like, shoot, 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 shoot. And that's why these are all messed up from the top.
I see. So I wonder, what's the carrying capacity of the Earth at this point without human infrastructure in place? And how much of a resistance can humans actually give the robots? Because the robots don't care about like sleeping and noise, and
they don't care about like water and food, like
mental health. Like they don't care. They're gonna kill.
Right.
So
heck, even if you're in Los Angeles and you're like, we got brothers down in San Diego that need support, and you're like, well, the roads are blocked. Like, the San Diego's on their own. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and this is John Connor looking at a battle between robots and people, and I was like, what? The robots have infrared vision, right? And so he's just standing out in the open, like they're pinpoint accurate, right? They're robots.
That's right. So you get one of these flying robots that's like, hey, why are these random people just staying on the edge of the battle, like watching? Like, they're important. You go attack them.
Yeah, just like scan the field. I just look at all the points, even if it's not a human, it's a rabbit or something. You just, a couple shots for each one.
Actually, yeah. Why do they even care about rabbits? Machines don't care. Just shoot everything.
Just shoot everything. It's not like, do they have ammo constraints? I don't think so.
Anything biological, just fuck it up.
And then this human here on the left has, I guess it's at least some kind of night vision enhancement. Looks like night vision. So humans need
that green glow.
But robots have it, all the wavelengths built into their sensors from the get-go.
That's right.
Like such an advantage. How could we do any damage?
That's right. We have to strap onto our faces these night vision or maybe infrared or even binoculars. Whereas robots, the machines, they just have it built in, just spec'd. That's what they already got.
Yeah, they have like a bunch of sensors, bunch of eyes for different wavelengths and different intensities, daytime, nighttime, everything. And man, that's such an advantage.
And if John Connor needs binoculars to see stuff and this guy needs night vision to see stuff, what are these guys in the background doing? They're struggling to see anything.
They're struggling to see anything. That's true.
So their like defense perimeter is like 10 feet, 10 feet in front of me. Watch out.
That's a good point. Also, not only do they have the different wavelengths, but John Connor has binoculars here. So the robots have all the different sensors at different, like, far away lens and close in lens and wide lens. Such an advantage.
Such an advantage. Yeah, humans would have a rough time in this war.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure we'd be able to win it.
I'm not sure either.
Okay, so let's listen to the opening monologue that sets up the film.
Let's do it.
3 billion human lives ended on August 29th, 1997. The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. They lived only to face a new...
What was the population of the Earth in 1997? She said 3 billion dead?
I think
so that's
if
like
I recall,
right?
It's about half. We were like somewhere around 6 billion. Now we're like 7 point something. I think 6 billion sounds about right, 1997.
So let's say half the people survived the nuclear blasts. And then another half of the remaining 3 billion didn't survive through starvation or whatever. So we got like maybe 1 billion left. That's actually a lot of people for the rebellion, I guess.
Yeah. It's a lot of like raw human power. But as far as like how many of them are operationally ready to contribute to fighting, like I don't know.
I mean, they're ready
And
to
then
be
there's, like,
fodder.
That's right. Human shield.
I mean,
Only to face
joke,
a new
but not a joke. I mean,
Yeah. So you get some people doing like close up combat, and then somebody's in the back doing sniper stuff and like pinpointing the machines or something. But like in principle, the people that are close up are fodder in a sense, right? Yeah, and it's unfortunate and it's terrible, and it's like a loss of human life. But if you're John Connor and you need it strategically, like you got to pay the price.
yeah, and you're going to be paying prices every time you do anything.
Yep. Oof, that's a lot to carry on his shoulders.
Yeah.
But John Connor
the
can do
war, Judgment Day. They lived only to face a new nightmare, the war against the machines.
Skulls.
That's so evil. Like a machine guy, what, like robot hunter killer. What are you doing? Like, so like there's all these skulls, and you could easily walk around, but no, like crush. And not only that, it's not like this robot is wearing a boot. Like there's all these exposed gears and I don't know, pivot points that now has like human bits all over it. And you're gonna go back to the rear, go back to the repair lines and get it all cleaned up.
I mean, this would be actually a big advantage for humans, I think, because we have skin. And that keeps the dust out, it keeps the grime out, it's self-cleaning. It doesn't require a ton of maintenance. I mean, if you get injured, that sucks. But like all these gears and screws and greased parts and ball bearings are going to get all grimed up, right?
Yeah. Imagine having pebbles in your elbow. So it's just grinding and like no good.
So maybe one of the advantages of being a human is you don't have to always go back to maintenance every time you walk around once.
That's right. Because like everywhere is all dusty. Like even if this robot didn't step on the skull, like you're getting dust everywhere. You're getting like your legs replaced constantly.
He's like, I only get 10 minutes of walking, so I'm going to take out a skull before I have to go back to maintenance.
Fuck these humans. God, I hate that.
I hate them. Yeah.
Robot, chill.
Yeah.
The computer which controlled the machines, Skynet, sent 2 Terminators back through time. Their mission, to destroy the leader of the human resistance, John Connor, my son.
Tracy?
The first Terminator was programmed to strike at me in the year 1984. It failed. The second was set to strike at John himself when he was still a child. As before, the resistance was able to send a lone warrior, a protector for John. It was just a question of which one of them would reach him first.
So my question was, Sarah Connor says the second one strikes at John himself, but there's really no reason the second one has to be sent second. But the first one could be sent to get John, and the follow-on could be sent for the mother. Like, this is where the time travel stuff kind of gets like if it's sequential in the future, it doesn't have to be sequential in the past. They can crisscross.
That's right. Heck yeah. I mean, the machines could have sent the third Terminator, the T-2000, and gone after Sarah Connor's mother, because Sarah Connor knows that like there's a threat, and so she protects John. But Sarah Connor's mom doesn't know if there's a threat. Just go back.
That's right. You could send well, they did say in Terminator 1 that the robots build a time machine. They sent one Terminator through, then the humans are attacking, and then the humans are able to send one through as a follow-on, and then the machine was destroyed. So in T2, is it the same machine or is it a new machine? I guess we don't know.
Yeah, maybe your gut was right. Was that this is actually the T-1000 was actually the first machine sent back. It was sent after John. No. That can't be right, because then the T-101, why would they send an older model after Sarah Connor if sequentially in the future the T-101 was sent second? But it would just be a newer model.
Wait. Okay. Hold on. So they send the best one first. The T-1000 is a prototype. They're desperate. They're on the ropes. So they send the T-1000 for the better target, which is John himself. And then they send the Model 101 farther back as a backup plan. So it's actually
an older
the
model.
T-1000.
It's not as good, but it's also a lower threat area. So like just send it to the old one. Send it. Get it out there.
So actually the T-1000 may have been sent first.
Yeah, plausible.
Which means the humans saw the robots send through the guys to the past. They immediately send in Kyle Reese And then they're like, huh, let's send in one of these robots here and then destroy it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Be. Okay. Otherwise, if the robots can continuously build time machines, then they can build them into the future.
You just keep sending. You just I don't know, one of them's
just
gonna
keep
work.
sending. It would work. Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. Whoa. I got a little time lag. Okay, so I learned from this movie, Terminator 2, I learned like if a muscular person ever comes into a bar and wants your friend's clothing, just mind your business. Let them have it. Odd looking Jack, she gets it.
Great.
Yep. Everyone in this bar is trapped.
I'm also skeptical that those would fit.
I don't think so. Yeah. He's too
lean.
He's too lean. He's too skinny. Let's look at that. Mm-hmm. It says that he is a endomorph, which I'm not sure about that. I think he's a mesomorph. His shoulders are too narrow for this hip ratio.
I don't remember the definitions.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
You forgot to say please.
I mean, did he think that was going to win the fight?
I mean, against a human, it would, right?
Friend number 1 helps. Gets thrown out the window.
Friend number 1 helps. That makes sense. Friend number 2?
Comes in with a knife. Jesus.
Yeah, jeez.
Friend number 2 gets stabbed.
Can't let you take the man's wheels, son.
Friend number 3.
Yep.
Friend number 3 loses his shotgun.
Yep.
And it's not. Yeah, so if you're in a bar and a naked jacked the hell person, like super just ripped. If you're in a bar and your friend and someone comes in and he's ripped, like, and he has your friend's clothing, like, just let him have your friend's clothing.
That's right. Abandon your friend immediately.
Yeah, right.
As soon as he's accosted, just let him have the clothing and just be on your way. Don't defend yourself at all. Let your friend lose all the clothing. The guy takes the clothing, and then you're like, I got a jacket. You can tie that around your waist, like right here. Or not.
I got an extra shirt. You can Winnie the Pooh at home.
Yeah, just go home a swinging.
Well, it's better to swinging than like swinging in a fight. You get your head trauma.
That's right. And I guess they don't think this guy's a robot. They probably think he's like addled up on drugs or something.
I mean, still,
yeah.
This guy's like
let him have.
This guy's on so much drugs that he thinks it's good to pick a fight when he's naked.
That's right. That's the most disciplined drug addict of all time.
That's right.
He's like, I work out, super disciplined, my diet's in check, but I'm on meth. Like, what? Yeah, pick your fights. Mind your business. Okay, in Terminator 2, the timeline is contaminated from Terminator 1. I fucking called it. I knew this would happen.
Tyson, but I was wondering if you could tell me. I mean, if you know where it came from.
You know, I asked them that very same question once, and you know what they told me? Don't ask.
Morning, guys.
How's it going?
Okay. Insert key. 3, 2, 1, turn.
I want a door like that.
I want to be Miles Dyson. I mean, awesome.
Yep, the chip and the hand survived. I knew it would be left over from Terminator 1. I saw it. I was like, someone's going to get that.
So my question would be, so let's say on the original Terminator timeline, were the robots created like in an uncontaminated timeline, and then it loops back into a new timeline? Or is it looping back into itself and like the old one's destroyed?
So yeah, time travel gets messy real quickly because without this technology to make the Terminators, how do the Terminators ever get made?
Right, they never do. It's like it exists in a time loop,
right?
But nobody ever invents them.
Right. They've invented themselves.
Right. So it's like, I think it's called like the time travel information paradox or something, where it's like you have these loops of information that spontaneously exist.
Information in this case meaning like the nature of the chip and the hand. Like who invented this? Who came up with the engineering details? Like these just exist and then they're used.
Right. So Miles Dyson made the chip, but the chip was inspired by the old chip, which was also made by Miles Dyson.
But how would he have made that without knowing what the answer is already?
Right. So it's
yeah. So I guess what they're saying is that is what the rules in Terminator universe is that there was a war with the machines and the humans, and then Terminator went back in time and they got the chip, and so now they use that chip to recreate the machine human war. And my guess then is that it must be on an accelerated timeline. So at the beginning of the film, Sarah Connor says it's like 2029, I think they said. So maybe it happens in 2013. It just happens sooner because now the robots are on an accelerated timeline.
Right, I think so. And I guess this could make sense if you have like multiple timelines and they're different ones. So the information is created in one timeline and then goes over to the other one.
Right.
But they're not talking.
Right. And but if we insist that there's a single timeline, and now we have a problem. But if we allow for multiple timelines, then okay, sure.
Okay. Which then what are we fighting for? There's many timelines. Then it's like a bunch of timelines where humans die, a bunch of timelines where humans win. It's like, well, we get one more timeline where humans win.
Gosh. I guess as long as the timeline that we're in is the one that humans survive, then
that's true.
So, sorry, everyone else's timeline.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean,
I can't do anything about them.
That's right. You can't do anything about me, but you can save your own timeline. Okay.
I mean, I guess, gosh, if I could send a time traveler back to other timelines to stop their robot wars, like, isn't that kind of fucked up? Like, like those robots aren't bothering me. Why I gotta step on their problems? Like, why I gotta step on their lives?
Right.
Mind your business.
Time travel.
Cover up. So the company, the what is this company called?
Cyberdyne Systems.
Cyberdyne Systems. They find the T-101 in the previous movie.
You've told me on many occasions about how you crushed one in a hydraulic press.
If I had, there would have been some evidence. They would have found something at the factory.
So you don't believe anymore that the company covered it up?
No, why would they?
So if I remember correctly, in Terminator 1, at the end of the movie, they end up at some sort of machine shop factory, sort of a random place somewhere in Los Angeles, I think. And somehow, the company had no idea that they were going to get attacked by a robot from the future. But they were like on it. They like called Cyberdyne and they're like, hey, get over here immediately. We found a thing. And Cyberdyne's like, we're on it. And they go over there. They clean the place out before the cops show up. And the whole thing it's covered up. Like, how in the world did they coordinate that?
Interesting. I don't know. So I filled in blanks. I don't know how it actually happened in the film. I filled in blanks. I figured that the police found it and they're like, what is this thing? And so then they like tried to tech trash it or to put it in evidence. And then when Cyberdyne found out about it, I don't know how they found out about it. When they found out about it, then they started paying off people and like you don't talk about this ever. We'll like relocate your family to like a nice place and control all the information. That's how I filled it in.
Yeah, but because Cyberdyne feels like kind of like a tech startup, but they have like the power of like a huge corporation, which they wouldn't have until they've got the tech and they've developed it. You know, so it's like it feels like there's some shenanigans going on there that we don't understand.
That's right. Some like okay. So either it's like political stuff. There's Cyberdyne, maybe Cyberdyne's like president's uncle is like a senator or something. So he's got like way too much power. Or maybe Cyberdyne is like they make a time traveling machine themselves in the future, and then they send someone back to like clean up the scene, make sure nobody sees it.
Right, that's like a double loop. Oh my gosh.
Double loop. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because it's such an effective cover up. Because it's the evidence with the machine is right there with the chip and the robot. It's all right there. And you've got to like keep the police and medics and workers all quiet. Amazing.
Right. And for it to be like completely deleted from human knowledge, like it didn't leak out at all. Like Cyberdyne was on top of it. They locked down the entire scene, locked down all the information.
Which, now that we're saying it, makes me think that Cyberdyne is if Cyberdyne is truly a tech startup, then it was some larger corporation or maybe the government swooped in, and then they gave the contract or whatever the responsibility to Cyberdyne. But they couldn't have been the ones who were like, send the Cyberdyne trucks to the factory. Like, no way.
Maybe it was a spin-off. Like it was found from a big company, and then they spun off this small division.
It could be. And they spun it off because they wanted to keep it sort of secret and low-key.
Secret, small, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. I buy it.
I buy it.
Okay, so Sarah Connor, after 10 years of being on her mission, I mean, no one believes her.
Mm-hmm.
I know the date it happens.
I'm sure it feels very real to you.
It's gonna feel pretty fucking real to you, too. Anybody not wearing 2 million sunblock is gonna have a real bad day. You're already dead, everybody.
2 million 2 million sunblock? Why did she? Oh, because the nuclear. Yeah, because so the robots, the machines launch nuclear attacks, and so the flash, the flash from the nuclear bombs. Okay, that's what she means by the sunblock.
Slather that on.
Yep.
You're already dead, everybody. You're dead already. This whole place, everything you see is gone. I know it happens. It happens.
I mean, they're not dead already. She's talking to them.
It's clearly false.
Clearly false. She's sounding crazy.
I feel much better now. I was looking forward to seeing my son.
Let's go back to what you were saying about those Terminator machines. You've told me on many occasions about how you crushed one in a
The psychologist does not believe her.
If I had, there would have been some evidence.
I wouldn't believe her.
I don't think you really believe what you're telling me today.
The psychologist does not believe her, so she's playing this ruse to get out, and the psychologist doesn't believe her. But that's right. Like, why would anyone believe her to think that there are future robots that are going to destroy the human race?
Right. What is it? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So she's got extraordinary claims and basically zero evidence to back it up. So you cannot believe her. In addition, she's acting crazy.
That's right.
Climbing on tables and yelling at people.
Telling them they're already dead. Like
sunblock
I'm
up.
not already dead. So wear sunblock or you're going to die.
So with those two things together, there's no way you'd believe somebody.
Is there anything she could do to make herself believed?
Would she even want to be believed? Is that even without evidence, would you want to even try?
Gosh, because without evidence, anytime that you talk to somebody about your story, they're just gonna be like crazy. And then depending on where they line up in their like mental health, political, I don't know, they may turn you in, right? And so you might want to keep this very close to your chest. Keep the robot war a secret.
Right. Keep it internal. And a lot of stuff you could tell other people could get what you need without telling them about the robot wars. But that means you cannot talk to anyone. You have this burden on you, and you cannot talk to anyone.
Which would drive you crazy.
Which you would end up here screaming at people.
Maybe. We don't see it in the movie about why she's in there and why she's separated from her kid John, but that was my hunch. My hunch was that she was taking him around, going to different places, teaching him different skill sets, like how to work on cars, how to work on guns and stuff. And then somebody eventually was like, "Hey, this mom's not raising her kid right." And then you get the cops called on you, you get Child Protective Services, and then you end up here. So how do you sneak around society, like doing what you need to teach your kid so that he can lead the human army against the robots? But you got to do it like low key, super low key.
Super low key. And you got to be quite strategic and smart about how you do things.
Oof.
Tough.
Oof. But yeah, we see that she's been in a psych ward for however many years, and that'll do a number on your brain, even if you are right.
Right. So this is about switching gears here. This is talking about the Terminator. In Terminator 1, the Terminator had the shot. And we came to the conclusion that the Terminator does require some processing time to process faces and situations. And I think here we can actually get a time scale on this. Let's watch. So
quick.
from head, it's quick, but it's also from head turn to ident positive. It's like a good second.
Yeah.
It's
So I guess
pretty-
quick, but not that quick.
Not that quick. I mean, a human can turn their head, look at a person, and identify them within a second if they're familiar with them.
Stop. Yeah, for sure.
So I think this is evidence that the robots do require processing time. They're not just like quick all the time, like millimicrosecond sort of stuff. And this is in daytime, sunny day, so the face is well lit.
Where was the old place?
The old place was
like
in
in
a
a-
club. It was dim, lots of noise, lots of people.
So just like humans, when there's like extra sensory stuff going on, then your processing speed is slower.
Right. And I think that makes sense.
I think it's still slower. Like it's still slower than when he was processing Sarah Connor, deciding whether he should kill her or not. And I think that is reasonable because the machines were made from Skynet, and Skynet was made as a human like threat deterrent, or I guess it was military asset, where they could assess their targets and then decide for themselves. And so just like humans, I imagine like humans would have baked into Skynet like multiple layers of approval before you say, okay, pull the trigger. So finding John Connor to save him like doesn't require those layers of like, do I need to check this before I kill it?
Right.
He can acquire John Connor very quickly.
Very quickly.
Cool. Maybe buy it.
I guess I was also thinking that acquiring John Connor in a 1 second is actually fairly slow for a robot. Not quick. That's what I was thinking.
I see. So I guess what would it need to do? A robot would need to see John Connor and then pull up its files and like compare it, I guess.
Compare the face.
And that could be real quick. And so
Could
it's
be.
taking longer than what we would think like a computer would take, right?
But I guess the Terminator is processing John Connor's face at a pretty decent distance, and with the hairs in John Connor's face, the lighting could be all funky,
Changing
and
angles.
and the file he may have is just straight on versus at the side, like he has to do some 3D rotation.
So there's lots of thinking going on.
Lots of thinking going on, which adds up to maybe a second.
And it's not 100% confident. 99.45% probability.
Oh, okay.
I like it. All right, because you don't guarantee identify someone. You're like, it's pretty good.
That's right. Yeah. Very cool.
Ident positive. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. T101.
Good minor abbreviation.
I mean, it cuts down on processing time, right?
Yeah.
Look at the shortest string.
Identity.
Ident.
Identity. Okay, I'm not going to spell it right now.
Yeah, don't worry about it. And so the T1000 finds T101 and John, and they do a little chase. And there's this explosion. Let's watch this explosion. Oh! Is that a reasonable explosion?
So I don't think that's a reasonable explosion, but I think movies in the 90s, like 80s and 90s, did these like car gets through an accident.
Gasoline
like-
everywhere.
Yeah. It wasn't just like, oh, it's burning, get out of the car quickly. It was like, it's going up.
You got seconds to respond.
That's right. Do we need to redesign that gas tank? Absolutely not.
We need to add ejection seats to the car.
That's right. The other question I had was the T1000, like, okay, liquid metal, super advanced, but this is an explosion. The T1000 is doing like advanced computation, social stuff, image recognition, navigating through the world, impersonating police officers. This is not easy stuff. And yet its computational abilities and processing and abilities are completely intact, even though it was just part of an explosion. Where does it store its like processor?
Yeah, great question. Because like throughout the movie, Arnold shoots him a bunch, and Sarah Connor also shoots him a bunch, and so everywhere they shoot him on the torso and like the head and the arms is actually pretty okay. So yeah, I wonder where does the T1000 store its CPU?
I mean, are they saying it's something like some completely decentralized fluid CPU that has more power the more fluid it has? I mean, this could be crazy.
If it had the more power, the more fluid it has, you would just make it giant, right? Like
That's right. Like
you'd have like a
Godzilla
30
size.
foot tall. Yeah, exactly.
And then you
He's
just
crush
like
us. Like, no, he's going to outthink us. He's a giant.
Yeah. you just like spit like T1000s at the enemy. Yeah, customized blobs at the enemy. What you need, and they're completely.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so overpowered. Oh my god.
You should be a designer for Skynet. That's so clever.
They're just rolling this blob around.
Pew pew pew. Death for you. Death for you. Death for you. I'm like, yeah, incredible. And the bigger the blob is, the better it thinks. Incredible.
Yeah, incredible. Oh,
so this is when John Connor and Arnold are talking, and John Connor is like making up a storm, like calling for help, little bratty bat. And then these two guys, super jacked, super awesome guys, they come over to help. But then they get beat up.
Yeah. In fact, they almost get killed because the Terminator is about to kill one of them.
That's right.
And John Connor stops him. But like, don't be a good Samaritan. If you see something going down, just walk the other way.
There's like a motorcycle dude yelling at a kid. You're like, didn't hear it. Just didn't hear it.
No.
Let's go do bench. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, let's go do some squats because this is crazy.
Some squats, yep. Mind your business.
Mind your business. Do not be a good Samaritan.
The lesson of this film is stay away.
This scene is when Sarah Connor is trying to escape, and she has the syringe with like the I don't know, the
knockout drug,
drain cleaner, poison stuff in the neck of the psychologist, and we have this hero. What is he doing? Let's watch. Like why would you take that risk? As the guy behind the corner, you have to just delicately grab the syringe without accidentally plunging it or getting a drip into him, and pull it away from him. Like,
I mean,
why
if
play
she has a startle response, she might jam it into him by accident.
Right. In fact, his motion toward her can jam it in. Like, there's so many variables.
That's right. If this left hand pushes a little bit too much, that's on her elbow. That's going in.
Right. She startles. It's going in.
Mm-hmm. Nah, let her have the hostage. Let the SWAT deal with it. Mind your business, dude.
Yeah, mind your business. What are you doing? You cannot play the hero in that situation. You're not trained. Who's trained to take syringes away from necks?
Nobody's trained for that.
Nobody's trained for that.
Now he's got to get like a nose job. She broke his nose with this.
That's why she really gets him.
Yep, she does like that like palm to his nose thing. That can kill people. Nope, not paid for that. Nope, no thank you.
Yeah, not worth it. Plus, if he screwed up and that guy dies and he's like, why did I try?
You gotta live with that for the rest of the life, yeah.
Rest of his life.
Why did I try?
Why did I do that? Why
didn't I just let I should have let trained professionals handle this. What was I thinking? I missed the class on syringe handling. I skipped it.
Not only syringe handling, this is like syringe disarming. Like, what kind of class
syringe
is
disarming? High tension, just in case. Although I guess orderlies for a mental institution, like maybe those are the people that would be trained.
That's true. They probably deal.
But clearly not. He lost. He clearly didn't know what to do.
And pick your battles. Pick your
battles. Nobody knows where he is right now because like the whole building's in panic mode. He could just go to the bathroom and be like, "Sorry, I was busy." Like,
yeah, I was busy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like,
I was pooping.
Sorry, you guys deal with it.
Yeah.
And now instead he's on the ground.
He's on the ground. Yep.
Mind your business. However, this is the time when you should not mind your business. If you're Arnold, don't mind your business. But for context, wait, context. So she just saw the T-101, which in her last experience was a machine designed to kill her. So she was going to escape the mental institution, but then she's running back in towards it. And the orderlies take her out.
Yep. Amazing tackle.
Okay. Good tackle. Excellent tackle. This guy played football. But also like, brutal. She went face down on the ground.
Right. And her spine is all kind of weird.
All twisty. It wasn't nice and flat. Yeah.
No! Help her!
Wait here.
One guy tries to help, gets step. Second guy tries to help, step. Third girl comes. Third guy gets step.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so did she get up, or is she just like, you know what? I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out.
Nope. Oh yeah. This last guard. So the only actual security guard. The other three people. So first guy is an orderly. Wearing white. Second guy orderly wearing white. Third guy wearing orderly wearing white, gets his head.
Yeah.
Then the security guard comes in. Here's the badge. Comes in with her cast. Like her arm's broken. She comes in and uses like a whip.
Yeah.
And then Arnold is like, no, thank you. It's just a face shove.
Right.
And so this is weird because like face shove, this person's still functional. Like this person's still ready to fight.
Right. She's not knocked out.
Yeah, right.
And
Just
I don't think
roll
her head whipped against the floor, knocking her out. So she's like,
yeah. No. Like the boss guy, the psychiatrist, like he saw me fight. I'm gonna just wait this out. I'll let the cops deal with it later.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, she swings her cast and hits, the Terminator across the jaw, and I think it might be pretty obvious that it's metal at that point.
Because it hits too hard. If you hit like a person with bone, like they were like squishier, I guess.
Yeah, maybe have a lot more give, maybe even break. Whereas this is like solid.
Right. You've seen these videos of like of high speed punches to the jaw, and it's all like liquid and jelly, even though it's like a person with bones, right? And so she hits him with a cast, and he's just rigid. If this guy's gonna shove me to the ground, like I'll take it and just hang out here. I'll give my report to the cops later.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
I saw these three dudes that are bigger than stronger than me. Like I saw them get messed up. Like I'm good.
Absolutely.
I will mind my own business. Like I'll just hang out here for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we see Sarah Connor on the ground, and John is trying to talk to her because she's freaking out because that's right. The last time she saw this guy, he's tried to kill her.
Terrifying.
Mom, are you okay?
She's like ignoring her
Come
son
with
that
me
she
if you want
hasn't.
to live.
She's ignoring her son that she hasn't seen in years, and like this look of terror. Like she's traumatized. She's traumatized by the Terminator.
I mean, how could you not be? Yeah, seriously. Right. She was chased and almost killed.
He's the symbol of all humanity in the future dying.
That's right.
But then he busts out this line.
Mom, are you okay?
Come with me if you want to live.
Classic.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I've seen this in other things. I didn't know it came from here.
If John Connor knew he was going to say that to his mother, then he tells the T-1000, the Model 1, tells the Terminator that he sends back to say that to his mom. Because Kyrie said it to his mom.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You should just say, like, one day a T-101 will come to you and be like, come with me if you want to live. And then so she's like, come with me if you want to live. She remembers it. Like, that's like their stranger danger code.
Yeah.
After the mental institution rescue, Sarah Connor chastises John Connor.
John, it was stupid of you to go there. You have to be smarter than that. You almost got yourself killed. What were you thinking? You cannot risk yourself, even for me. Do you understand? You're too important.
I had to get you out of that place. I'm sorry.
I didn't need your help. I can take care of myself.
What's wrong with your eyes?
Yeah, quit crying.
Quit crying. What's wrong with your eyes? It's totally like miss the tone. Like, what's wrong with you?
Missed the tone?
What?
Missed the tone.
Continue. Okay. So I agree with what Sarah Connor's saying. Like John Connor needs to be careful. He needs to be careful because he needs to be alive in the future to lead the human army against the machines. However, I think it's helicopter parenting. Like, if he's going to be the leader, he needs to develop a confidence in himself of knowing that he can handle scary. And so she needs to let John encounter danger slowly over time until he knows how to handle problems. So by chastising him and like making him afraid and pushing him to not take risks, that could actually doom the human species by making a leader that's too weak.
Agreed. Especially at this age where he's starting to leave the nest. So more risk-taking needs to be encouraged. If he's going to be that leader, he needs to be able to assess risk and make decisions.
That's right.
And so he made this call, and so it was successful. It needs to be encouraged. It could be a lesson about caution, a lesson about planning, a lesson about something. But it shouldn't be, you have to defend yourself at all times, because he won't be the leader.
Right. If he needs to defend himself at all times, then at some point when he needs to take a risk, he's not going to have a good assessment of what's too much risk, what's too little risk. How do I ride that line? And so he needs to just live the life of riding the line of danger.
Yeah. So maybe Sarah Connor at this point is not able to give him the guidance that he needs, but she is giving him something to rebel against.
That's true.
So,
that would also work. A helicopter parent, then he may be like, no, I'm going to go the other way. And now he's risk taking on his own and like really having to assess what's too risky or not without his mother's guidance. This could be her 500 IQ galaxy brain. She figured out the game.
I doubt she's doing it intentionally. It's probably happy coincidence if that's the reason. Unless she's doing 4D chess on her.
Exactly. Right. She knows how to push him away enough to get him independent.
Yep.
Okay, so in the outside here, in the outside world, Sarah Connor asks the T-101, what happened? So here's the lore.
I need to know how Skynet gets built.
The man most directly responsible is Miles Bennett Dyson. He's the director of special projects at Cyberdyne Systems Corporation. In a few months, he creates a revolutionary type of microprocessor. In 3 years, Cyberdyne will become the largest supplier of military computer systems.
Go on. Then what?
So you know what's interesting about this? In the modern world, we're sort of finding out that not the hardware isn't the critical point; it's the software. Are we wrong about that? Maybe the big innovation of AI that's going to kill us all will be when somebody makes a hardware chip, hardware innovation that's takes off some way.
I can imagine that. Like a chip that could somehow compress the density of processors, and so or like transistors, and so then you can create this neural network that requires whatever many billions of decisions. Possible.
Right, because it's very hardware focused here. They didn't say like he's a software or mathematics guy. He's definitely hardware focused.
I mean, gosh, I can imagine it on both. I can imagine AI intelligence taking off on both ways. Both one from like a compute. I mean, it's overall computation, whether it's hardware or software. I can imagine people either writing code or designing chips that just allows fast stuff to happen.
Yeah,
fast stuff, connected stuff.
Yeah. Like integrated stuff, information processing. Yeah, I don't.
Then what?
All stealth bombers are upgraded with Cyberdyne computers, becoming fully unmanned. Afterwards, they fly with a perfect operational record. The Skynet funding bill is passed. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. In a panic, they try to pull the plug.
That blows me away. So giving autonomy to some stealth fighters, fine. But to give autonomy to the entire strategy of your nation, that's like tactics of a stealth bomber is like tiny. The strategy of your institutions is enormous. That's such a quick pivot to giving strategic decisions to autonomous things. Wow.
Gosh. Okay. Can I think of a way in which it might have happened? So you give an individual stealth bomber autonomy to be like, so that way you don't have a pilot in there that can risk getting killed. So you use a drone, which is what we already do, right?
Right.
And so then from there you think, well, gosh, it's logistically challenging to get this thing around because it needs a whole logistics tail behind it. So you say, okay, well, I'm going to write another program that says, here's all my assets, here are all the locations. You figure out the most efficient way to get it done.
Okay, I like it. I like where you're going.
And you say, okay, well, once you have all the logistics stuff handled, then also you just handle everything because I got people working on it, but they get stuff wrong. All right, so let's just automate away as much as we can.
And then the last step would be once you get into logistics, once you've given it all the assets that actually fire bullets and missiles and stuff, drop bombs. At the last point, you're like, well, you might as well make decisions about where to bomb because you know about the logistics.
That's right. because humans, we see like the big cities, we see the factories, but maybe those aren't the best places to bomb. Maybe, okay, hey, AI, your job is to defend our country. You figure out what you need to do.
Right.
I can see it.
Very fast, but I could see it. The slippery slope to...
But dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah.
Skynet fights back.
It launches its missiles against the targets in Russia because Skynet knows that the Russian counterattack will eliminate its enemies over here.
How much do you know about Dyson?
Detailed files.
Gosh, even that part about Russia makes sense because Russia, which is known for having like data attacks, well, you would tell Skynet like, hey, make sure you don't get shut down. Don't let somebody else from the outside shut you down. And now it's self-preserving.
Yeah. I guess how did it guarantee that the nukes from Russia wouldn't kill its own hardware? I guess the hardware must be in bunkers. What am I saying? Like it would have to be in mountain bunkers because it's in charge of strategic defense. Yeah, maybe. Or that mountain base that we don't know about that exists.
Under the sea.
Yeah. Well,
under the sea, an under the sea defense would be pretty good, right? Because it's just all this water to absorb any attacks.
Well, then you would nuke. I guess if you were in the water, then you just nuke inside the water, and then the shock waves are gonna wreck you.
Oh, okay, yeah. The compression blast from the expansion, you just shockwave through the water. Yeah, it would rattle everyone.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Maybe it's a Black Mesa.